tapping on the karate chop point. I am so willing to feel all of the disapproval that I have for myself around putting myself first. I am so willing to feel everything that comes up when I imagine putting myself first. I am so willing to even approve of my disapproval and of my guilt and of every single sensation that comes up when I put myself first. And I deeply love and honor myself. And above the eyebrows. Oh no, I am putting myself first. Even though I was taught from a very young child that you are absolutely not allowed to put yourself first, even though I've had endless messages from media, books, TV shows, movies, from my family that I absolutely should not, am not supposed to, am not allowed to put myself first. I am doing it anyway. Side of the eye. Wow, I am such a villain for putting myself first. I mean, in those stories, isn't it always the villains who put themselves first? You know, and they're selfish and they have labels like narcissistic and, you know, just totally self-focused and not caring about anyone at all. And that is how everyone's going to view me. Everyone's going to be like, look at that villain. Look at how selfish that person is. Look at how narcissistic that person is. Who do they think they are putting themselves first? Like, how dare they? And below the eye, and even I kind of think I'm a villain for putting myself first. Like, what bad things am I going to do because I put myself first? You know, I mean, am I going to do bad things to other people? I mean, maybe other people think I'll do bad things to other people. Or all the programming I've ever been given has told me that when you put yourself first, then you're doing bad things, or you're going to end up doing bad things, or you're going to end up a villain. So let myself just feel into that right now. Feel how much I just really thought I would be a villain if I would put myself first. I really thought I'd be the enemy if I put myself first. I really thought I would go against the cohesion of society if I put myself first. And below the nose. And oh my God, I mean, I'm disapproving so much just within me of putting myself first, but how much are other people going to disapprove of me? People are going to judge me so much. I'm going to receive so much judgment. I mean, people are going to literally sign up to tell me they hate me. They will stand in a line outside my door to tell me they hate me. They'll email me. They'll send me messages on Instagram and on Facebook. They'll comment on my stuff and they'll be like, wow, you're putting yourself first. How dare you? You suck now. What happened? I can't believe you did this. I let myself receive that rejection right now as if it were the sweetest of nectars, the liquid of the gods. And on the chin, I let myself fully acknowledge that part of me has absolutely wanted to be rejected. You know, I mean, who are these people who are rejecting me anyway? Are they people I actually truly want to spend time with? Or, you know, maybe too, maybe I have enjoyed being rejected. I mean, if there are people I do want to spend time with, maybe I still have been craving rejection as a feeling, you know? It's like we love to feel both sides and both polarities. The more and more we can feel rejection, the more and more love we can feel too, the more and more connection we feel. And sometimes we feel so connected and so immersed in other people, so immersed in society, so immersed in society's ideas, so immersed in other people's ideas, that we want to experience separation. We want to experience independence. So letting all this rejection come up and just letting ourselves feel in the body. And again, too, the idea of pleasure and enjoyment, we don't have to be like, oh, I'm just actually enjoying this right now. It's more to relax and just really let all the sensation come up. So on the collarbone, really letting all that sensation come up. Oh my God. I mean, other people just are going to resent me so much for putting myself first. Other people are going to hate me so much. They're going to judge me. They're going to reject me for putting myself first. They're going to think I'm such a bad, terrible, and wrong person. And I'm supposed to feel so guilty for putting myself first. And I'm just the villain and I'm the enemy for putting myself first. And on the breastbone or side of the chest, really, I'm feeling like a huge knot in my heart. Oh, there's been so much energy stored in this and like this absolute, and how absolutely forbidden it's been to put myself first, and how much I've had to stop myself over and over and over again from putting myself first, how much I've had to hate myself for putting myself first, or disapprove of myself, or dislike myself in order to prove that I know it's bad and wrong to put myself first. You know, I have to prove to other people that I know it's bad and wrong to put myself first. And maybe I've even felt shame, just letting that shame release. You know, shame is one of those things we just don't need. So putting that aside around my deep, deep desire to put myself first. So really enjoying my desire to put myself first, enjoying how bad, wrong, and guilty that makes me feel, enjoying how much that makes me the villain and the enemy, enjoying all those people that are just going to want to reject me and judge me and hate me and tell me I suck for putting myself first. Top of the head. Really allowing all those feelings of deep judgment and rejection of myself and judgment and rejection from others to just really be received right now. Just letting myself receive. It doesn't feel good just to like let the walls down, to stop preventing the judgment from coming, but the judgment's there. So just letting myself totally feel the judgment, letting myself feel that total, deep, and utter rejection. And letting myself know that part of me really enjoys it. Part of me is secretly really desired this rejection. And so I'm letting myself receive it right now. Okay, and now we are going to do the second round. So go ahead and start tapping on the eyebrows. But what if it's actually really wonderful for me to have this experience? I mean, first of all, people always love a villain. So really by acting out being the villain, I'm just giving other people entertainment and gossip. And that's really a benevolent act. People love entertainment and gossip. So really, first of all, that's just such a kind thing for me to do. Side of the eye. Also, there really is this part of me that secretly desires to feel every single emotion, to feel every spectrum. And that's the infinite divine part of me that came here to have the full spectrum human experience. And so I allow myself to feel all these feelings and emotions that arise, to feel the rejection, feel the judgment, to feel the hatred, knowing that I am deeply pleasing a divine part of myself. Even if I feel like I can't access that part of myself in this moment, I can just know that I'm totally pleasing the infinite divine by feeling all these sensations and emotions. And below the eye. And what if also really part of success is being able to receive and hold people's resentment, judgment, even their hatred? You know, what if like having success means that people will always feel these things about me? You know, being able to be fully present and fully aware in the world also means being aware that people hold these emotions for rational and irrational reasons. They might not even have any reason at all to hate or resent me, and still they will. So being able to have the capacity to receive that will actually open me up to many more experiences and many more opportunities and a lot more success in this world. And below the nose. And what if too, when I put myself first, I'm really being a leader and I'm really showing other people, hey, you can have this too. By choosing pleasure for myself, I am giving other people deep, deep permission to choose pleasure for themselves. By putting myself first, I'm giving other people permission to put themselves first. And what if all of us putting ourselves first led to all of us being so much more fed and so much more abundant and full of so much more pleasure than we ever imagined we could be? On the chin. What if every person in the world came from a totally full cup? Like, what if we really filled our cups first? What if we really loved ourselves first? And what if we really came from abundance and pleasure all the time? So what if we really gave ourselves pleasure, gave ourselves love first? And then what if we always came from that energy of pleasure and love, giving pleasure and love to others? What if, you know, whenever I put myself first, and so for example, like if I quit a job, I mean, then I'm giving someone else who would actually feel so much love and pleasure in that job to have that job, you know? So really I'm opening up opportunities of pleasure for other people. Or, you know, what if out of my love and pleasure, I'm like, wow, I would love to give to this person. Or what if I'm able to give so many more compliments out of this full cup? Or what if I'm able to just beam love on so many more people? Even that intention of just beaming love, even just holding love for myself and being the love I want to see in the world, that is bringing so much more love into the world. It's really raising the vibration of the whole world when I put myself first. And I don't even have to do anything except put myself first. On the collarbone. But again, it really becomes so much easier to give to other people. And it becomes, and not only are we giving to other people out of so much more ease, but really our efforts and actions have a much greater effect when we're coming from love and ease. I mean, really, if we're coming from like being unfulfilled and resentful, and then we give to people from there, I mean, they're not going to feel filled either. They're not going to feel really fed. So when we come from this deep love, when we come from deeply feeling fed within, that's when we can really feed others. That's when we're giving out of really full and generous hearts, and people feel that generosity, and then their cups get filled, and then they fill other people's cups too. And what if really by putting myself first, I'm starting this chain reaction of generosity? It can be like one of those fountains where, there's a really full overflowing basin, and then it overflows into the next one, and then that overflows into the next one, and then that overflows into the next one. And it's like that, this constant overflow of emotion and overflow of everyone being fed and being totally fulfilled on the breastbone side of the chest. So I really open up to the deep divine love, both of being willing to be the villain and the enemy in someone else's story in order to create the highest vibration of love on this planet. And I fully open up to being the love that I want to see in the world by embodying it in myself first. I know as I embody being the love in myself, I will be the love to other people. I will be the love to my friends and family. I'll be the love to my coworkers. I'll be the love to my partner, and I'll be the love to the world. And I know that that love will just keep flowing out. And that even if it seems like I'm making a decision that appears selfish on the surface, or that appears to hurt someone else on the surface, really, would that person actually want me to be there out of resentment and scarcity? I mean, I don't want people, doing things for me or staying with me out of resentment and scarcity. I would way rather receive from generosity and love and abundance. And I know that when I, if putting myself first means ending relationships or saying no, I know that that means that that is the best thing for that other person. Because really, what's a yes for me and a no for me, I mean, really, we're coming from our divine yes and our divine no, from our authentic yes and authentic no's, from our soul yeses and soul no's, from our heart yeses and heart no's. And those are always for the highest good of all. Top of the head. And being willing to be a sovereign, to be a leader, and to be someone who comes out of the place of being for the highest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done.